Welcome to another video. My name is Amsterdam Comic Geek and this video is about my recent comic book haul. So stay tuned. But first let me start with some bad news, and that is that the Netherlands is in a new lockdown situation because of the pandemic. So don't travel to the Netherlands at this time. We will be in lockdown at least until January the 19th of 2021. So just so you know, because it's gonna be a lonely Christmas for most of us. But still my heart sings with joy because I got a stack of comics which I ordered at cheapcomics.com. And that's my favorite online store. And Chris, the proprietor of that store, is always very kind and has great customer service, and sometimes he adds a little extra into the package, like this time it was a trading card of the Dark Knight Returns Batman comic covers series, as you can see here. And of course this is an iconic cover by Frank Miller from an iconic series. So I'm very glad with this trading card. Thank you, Chris, for that. And Chris enjoys the videos as well, so he also added a bonus comic in this stack. But first, let's go through it. This is The Amazing Spider-Man volume number 9, Since Rising, by Nick Spencer and Guillermo Sena, amongst others. And this is of course the ongoing saga of The Amazing Spider-Man. And I really enjoy these stories. I think they're doing a good job on the current Spider-Man series, and I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I just had to have this one. And apparently the Sin Eater made a return, which is interesting because as far as I know the guy is dead. But that doesn't stop Marvel Comics from bringing characters back, as you know. That's just all in the game. Another one I bought is Strangers in Paradise 25, and that is like the big sequel of the original story with Kachu and Francine. And this is the omnibus. It's only $30, and the great thing is Terry Moore, the creator of this series and of these stories, well, he publishes his own work, so I always like that a lot, and I like his artwork as well. It's getting a bit dark here, but I didn't want to turn on the lights because a couple of these comics have very shiny surfaces, and that's always bad with the lighting. What I also bought is Daredevil by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson, number 2 and 3, and that means everything Frank Miller ever did on Daredevil is now in my possession, because I already had Born Again, which is a great story, which he did with David Mazzucchelli, and also Man Without Fear, which he did with John Romita Jr. And I also had volume 1 of this series already, so now everything Frank Miller ever did on Daredevil so far I can reread, because I read a couple of them in the past. But now how I want to spend my holiday season is sitting on the couch, sipping coffee and looking at great art and reading great stories from back in the day by the one and only Frank Miller. And this series, this run, is legendary because it's so damn good. Another Spider-Man, number 8, Threat and Menaces, by the same team basically, except for Ryan Ottley doing the art on this one. I'm looking forward to reading this too. Catching up with my old friend Pete, see what's going on in his life. This is the bonus comic I got from Cheap Comics. Thanks, Chris, for sending this one. Symbiote Spider-Man by Peter David and Greg Land is an interesting series because it takes place in the couple of weeks that Spider-Man was wearing the symbiote costume. So these are new stories taking place in around 1984-1985, just after the first Secret Wars comic series. And I already had the other one with the Hobgoblin. That is actually the second story. This is the first story. And I definitely hope that Marvel will continue this series. The only beef I have with this series, and this is just a small beef, is Greg Land's artwork. He's a great artist, but if you want to make a comic that takes place within a certain period of time, I would say the comic must look as much as the comics from back then as possible. So hire the original artist that was doing these comics, which is Ron French, and he's a great artist. He's still out there doing great stuff, so why not hire him to make this comic fit in seemingly with all the stuff that came before. But that's the only beef I got, because Peter David is a great writer and he's doing some interesting fun stuff with the Symbiont Spider-Man comic. So that's the only complaint I got. Well, that's the comic book haul for December for me. If you saw anything you know or liked, let me know in the comment section below. I'm happy to hear from you. Take care, stay safe, and let's hope that next year is gonna be a great year for all of us. Thank you for watching.